Today we're going to use the overbrush technique and our understanding of values on the Chaos Knight legs.
That the entirety of the cosmos is accessible through each and every individual's mind, connecting to the great mind, the great spirit.
Welcome back to the channel, collectors. Today we're going to apply our understanding about values on the Chaos Knight leg using the overbrushing technique. If you're new to the overbrushing technique, you can check out our overbrushing technique video right here. And if you want to sort of like understand values a little bit more, you can check out the video on understanding values right here. This video is part of a greater series where I go through component by component how I paint the Chaos Knight Desecrator right here. You can check out the Chaos Knight Desecrator playlist in the description below. So if you're ready to apply two techniques at once, let us begin. Alright, so now we're going to use very similar color for the legs. We're going to start with an overbrush of Vallejo watercolor Fuel Blue. If you want to see how this overbrushing technique is done, you can check out the overbrushing video, which is linked in the description below. Alright, at this point of time, I want you to make sure that you remember that the lighting will be coming from the top right hand corner. I'm doing a Rembrandt style lighting, and the top right hand corner of the miniature will be more lightly lit up than some of the components. So areas which I will re-emphasize on will be on the right leg and on the ball socket on the hip. So as you guys can see, this overbrush of Vallejo watercolor Fuel Blue, I am employing a pretty stabby approach to this. But I'm also going to be re-emphasizing that while you're applying a really stabby technique, the highlights should be done from a top right corner. This will allow the top right edges, the top right surfaces to be seen as highlights. Okay, as with the frame, I'm gradually adding in some Vallejo watercolor pale sand. As mentioned, the values and where you place the highlight is really important. So for this stage, what I'm doing is that I'm placing the highlights more towards the top right hand corner, and I'm doing it in a very stippling style right here. As you guys can see, this really starts to pick up a lot of detail, and this is really contrasty. A tip that I would give everybody would be to make sure that the paints are slightly moist. This would ensure that the transitions between colors are as smooth as possible, as you guys can see. And the best part about this technique is you don't need to get up to use the airbrush. You can just fully integrate this technique into one session of painting, and I feel that this process is a lot more integrated than having to interrupt a bit of your painting with sort of like an airbrush session. Alright, carry on with the stippling technique. What I'm doing is I'm adding in a little bit of Vallejo watercolor pale sand. This is starting to reinforce the form of the miniature, and you can see the brighter highlights are starting to pick up on some of the details. You will see in the final product later that the axles, the joints between the individual components will be so has so much contrast. It's going to be super eye-catching, and this technique is so fast, it's so efficient. Yeah, you can really finish painting at night under a day or two if you are not really particular about adding little details. Alright, So as you guys can see, at this stage, the legs are looking pretty nice already. We are adding in a stipple of more video model color pale sand. This will really warm up the contrast, and will make the legs look a lot more visually appealing. I did this set of legs in slightly under an hour. However, I've already painted a second Chaos Knight, and I've done the frame and legs all in under an hour. Which, yeah, I think what I'm trying to say is that I don't claim that this is the fastest technique, but this gets increasingly faster with more and more familiarity with this technique. The more you do this technique, the more familiar you are, the faster you will get. And sometimes the speed is honestly really baffling. To me, because I feel that I'm a really slow painter. It's really slow. Normally, to get to something that looks like this, it would take me about maybe a week of slowly blending, slowly layering. However, I've done this so quickly. Alright, so at this stage right now, as per the frame, what I've done is I've gone with an overall glaze of a wash of Brickland Flash Shade. So forgive that the footage is kind of out of the frame, but the idea is to have this orangey shade all over the miniature, all over the areas that we have just been painting. If you are not sure how to do this stage, you can check on the night frame video which we have posted previously, and this is the result that we are looking for. And now with a very light overbrush of ivory, we are going to pick on some highlights, and this will make the entire frame really pop. As you guys can see, the Brickland Flash Shade really looks like it adds a little bit of grime into the mechanical areas, and this makes this night frame look so much appealing. Can't believe it, I've done this entire leg frame in under an hour, and you can do it even more quickly than me. Alright. So now with a glaze of dark oak flash, I'm going to be picking up some of the copper areas. So I'm going to do some of the cylinders in this copper color. Some of the small little parts, I'm going to be picking up small little components. Picking out a little bit of the heat sink back there. Alright. So as you guys can see, the difference between this step and how I've done the frame is that I didn't even bother with the orange brown. I just went over with a glaze of dark oak flash, and it's already beginning to look like copper right here. Contrast is really useful here. So collectors, what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, I know it's kind of complicated that you have to apply two different techniques and understanding, but I think once you get the hang of it, this becomes an automatic process. In the next video, we're going to learn how to paint the carapace on the Chaos Knight Desecrator. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create a mortared armored loop on the Chaos Knight Desecrator using the blue armor and the bone white armor. I hope you guys join me in the next video, and you can check out the other Chaos Knight videos in the playlist in the description below. I want to take the opportunity to thank my amazing patrons for allowing me to do this. Because of their support, I'm able to paint and create these videos so that everybody gets to become a better painter together. If you want to support the channel, this month's exclusive video is how I take the overbrushing technique to the next level and paint this very realistic gold non-metallic metal, which will be available really soon. However, if you can't become a patron, that's okay too. I really like to thank you for watching to the end, and if you really want to help out the channel even further, just leave a like and subscribe because it really helps the channel grow. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see me paint next, and I'll try my very best to see how I can integrate it into the content schedule. I hope you guys have a good day painting. I'll see you in the next video. See you.